Hi, hello, namaste. Welcome back to Needs of Children. We are discussing about 8th standard English medium social science, in that geography, chapter number 3, atmosphere. Let's come to the what are the very important learning points from this lesson. In this lesson, you will learn the very important concepts like the meaning, importance, composition and formation of atmosphere, the components of atmosphere like temperature, pressure, winds, humidity, clouds, rain, their types, functions and effects. Analyzing the difference between weather and climate. Yes, here is a question for you, dear students. What are the essential things we need to live? Yes, exactly. We need water, air, food, etc. Among that, air is a very important for us. Even we can live without water, food, but without air, it is unimaginable. Yes, you are right. But where is air? The air is everywhere around us. Let's come to the even. Do you know how the layer of atmosphere is protecting us? Let's come to the with that question we are going to get with the meaning of atmosphere. Atmosphere is a thin layer of gases, dust particles and water vapor surrounding the earth. Even this layer of gases is protective zone between the outer space and the earth's surface. The thickness of the atmosphere is around 1000 kilometers. It is very important for all forms of life on the earth. Some gases of the atmosphere are essential for breathing for human beings and other living organisms, whereas plants are going to be prepare their food with the help of gases. That is the reason it's a very essential the gases in the atmosphere. Whereas when we are going to be identify the atmosphere is a different mixture of such kind of gases. By trapping the heat, atmosphere has made the earth is a living planet. Even we are going to be get the what sun rays, UV rays we are going to be receive from the sun, that protection layer that is also providing by the gases as a protective layer. Even the atmosphere is a mixture of different gases, dust particles and water vapor. So that here are some of the very important gases in the atmosphere, their percentage wise. If you are going to be identify their percentage wise. In the atmosphere, nitrogen with 78.08%, whereas oxygen with 29.94%, argon 0.93%, carbon dioxide with 0.03%, ozone with 0.000005. So that is the composition of different important gases in the atmosphere. The atmosphere also contains dust particles which helpful in the formation of water droplets. So what it is, we identify the dust particles too. The dust particles are very helpful for the formation of the water droplets. The water vapor is in the atmosphere cause the formation of clouds and precipitation. After that water droplets, water vapor converted into as a clouds and converted into as a droplets or precipitation. Nothing but we are called as the rain. So that atmosphere traps heat and energy influence the weather condition of a place. So in that way atmosphere helps a very important role, traps the heat and the energy influence the weather condition of a place. The atmosphere may be divided into 5 important layers on the basis of its characteristics of features. Mainly they are called as here Troposphere, Stratosphere, Mesosphere, Thermosphere and Exosphere. These are the 5 important layers of the atmosphere. Let's come to the one by one. We are going to get the information. Among that, the first one it is called as the troposphere. Troposphere is the lowest layer of the atmosphere. It extends up to 18 kilometers at the equator and 8 kilometers near the poles. Here it is a 18 kilometers, that is from the equator, and it is 8 kilometer near the poles, north pole and south poles. And this layer has all the atmospheric elements such as temperature, pressure, winds, clouds and even rainfall. So all weather changes occur in this layer only. In this layer, temperature and pressure decreases with the increase of altitude. Altitude nothing but height. As we are going height, the temperature and pressure decreases. That is the information about troposphere. Let's move on to stratosphere. Here, this is the layer we are going to be called as the stratosphere. Stratosphere is the second layer of the atmosphere which extends up to 50 kilometers. So it is extends up to 50 kilometers. It lies between troposphere and mesosphere. In between troposphere and mesosphere, we can see the stratosphere. This is the layer. Ozone is the most important gas located in the stratosphere. So that ozone layer absorbs ultraviolet rays of the sun and protects all forms of the life on the earth. This layer is free from clouds and other important weather phenomenon. In this layer we cannot see any weather phenomenon and it is a completely free from the clouds. So it has ideal flying conditions for jet aircrafts. So what we are going to be see, the flying aircrafts, aeroplane, helicopters, they are flying in the stratosphere. And the third one, mesosphere. You can see the location of this is the area is mesosphere. Mesosphere is above the stratosphere. After the stratosphere, we can see mesosphere. It extends up to 80 kilometers from the surface. From the surface up to 80 kilometers, we can see the mesosphere. This is the layer. Also, temperature decreases with the increase of altitude. Because of as we are moving height. Altitude. Altitude means height. As we are moving height, the temperature will be decreases. It is the coldest layer of the atmosphere. Mesosphere is considered as a coldest temperature in the layers of the atmosphere. And the next, thermosphere. So here it is, you can see this is the area called as the thermosphere. Thermosphere lays next to the mesosphere. Temperature rises drastically in this layer. Due to very high temperature, the gaseous atmosphere are ionized here. Why in the thermosphere the temperature rises drastically? Because in this layer the gaseous atoms are ionized. That is the reason in this layer the temperature rises drastically. So ionosphere, as the gaseous atoms are ionized due to very high temperature. That is the reason it is also called as the ionosphere. Thermosphere is also called as ionosphere. The ions found here help in the reflecting radio waves. So that is the reason what we are going to be watching the televisions or radio programs or overall radio waves will reflect in this thermosphere because of ionized gases or atoms present in this layer. That is helpful to reflecting the radio waves. And the next, last one, it is called as the exosphere. Exosphere is the topmost layer of the atmosphere. Elements of atmosphere are rare in this layer. We cannot see any kind of elements in the exosphere, and pressure is extremely very low. Here there is no pressure at all in the exosphere. So these are the information about layers of the atmosphere. Let's the concept of elements of weather. Weather condition of a place is influenced by various elements. They are considered as the temperature, pressure, winds, humidity, clouds, rainfall, etc. are the very important elements which are influenced by weather. Here the concept of weather and climate. The atmospheric conditions of a smaller area at a particular time is called weather. Weather means the atmospheric condition of a smaller area at a particular time. Smaller area, particular time is called as weather. Whereas against to this, the average condition of the atmosphere over a long period of a larger area is called as climate. Whether it is a smaller area, particular time. Climate, long period, larger area. So that is the weather and climate concept. So let's move on to the concept of temperature. Dear children, do you know which is the source of energy for the earth? Yes, you are right. Obviously, it is sun. Sun is the main source of energy to the earth, which supplies the heat through insolation. Sun is the main source of energy to the earth, which supplies heat through insolation. Just think what happens if there is no sun at all. Yes. Here, incoming solar radiation from the sun to the earth is called insolation. Heat is the solar radiation which reaches the sun from the heat is the solar radiation which reaches the earth from the sun. So insolation means incoming solar radiation from the sun to the earth. So here the concept of temperature. Temperature is recorded by an instrument called as thermometer. Centigrade or Fahrenheit are the important thermometers used to measure atmospheric temperature. So here are some of the very important factors that influence the atmospheric temperature. Before that, in the Celsius freezing point is 0 degree Celsius. So here it is 0 degree Celsius, that is called as centigrade, and F means Fahrenheit. And the boiling point is 100 degree Celsius. The boiling point is 100 degree Celsius. Whereas in the Fahrenheit, the freezing point is 32 degree Fahrenheit. 32 degree Fahrenheit, that is the boiling point of the boiling point. Whereas the boiling point is, freezing point is 32 degree Fahrenheit. Boiling point is 212 Fahrenheit, that is the boiling point. Let's come to the, here are some of the important factors that influence the atmospheric temperature are latitude. You have learned in the first lesson the concept of latitudes and longitudes. Even altitude of a place. Distance from the sea. Winds, ocean currents, clouds, rainfall, etc. are the important factors that influence atmospheric temperature. Here is a concept of normal lapse rate of temperature. As the amount of gases decreases with the increase of altitude, the pressure and temperature decreases. As the altitude nothing but it is called as the height. Height, as we are going the height, obviously the temperature is decreases. This is called normal lapse rate of temperature. The temperature decreases with 0.4 degree centigrade for every 1000 meters. That means 1 kilometer. As we are moving 1 kilometer of height, or 1 degree centigrade for every 165 meters of the height. That is the normal lapse rate temperature. Inversion of temperature. In some special situations, temperature instead of decreasing increases with the increasing height. This is called inversion of temperature. Obviously, this takes place in mountain valleys. Reasons for this is long winter nights with clear sky, dry air, no wind and snow covered surface of the mountain, etc. So that is the inversion of temperature. And let's come to the about temperature zones. The distribution of temperature is not uniform on the surface of the earth. So why? What is the reason for this? So if we are going to be identify for this, the temperature is not uniform throughout on the surface of the earth, because the reasons are: number one, the rotation of the earth. The next, the inclination of the earth and its own axis by 24 into 1 by 20. And the resolution of the earth. So these are the main reasons for why the temperature is not uniform throughout the surface of the earth. Even it is a benefit for us, because of the reasons for there is a difference in receiving the temperature between the different places on the earth surface. If you are going to be see, equatorial region will receives the highest temperature when compared to North Pole and South Pole. The places at equator receives high temperature, whereas the place towards the poles, North Pole and South Pole, receives less temperature. As you can see, the December 22 is very smallest day in the year. That means the day is very less, the night hours are more. When June 21st is called as the longest day in the year, the day duration is very high. That means the sun rises very early when compared to December 26. On June 21, sun rises very early, and sunset, the time it is also very late. So that is the reason June 21st is considered as the longest day and December 22 is the shortest day in the year. On the basis of isolation, the globe is divided into 3 temperature zones. They are torrid zone, temperate zone, frigid zone. Let's come to the one by one. We are going to be get the information. Number 1, torrid zone. This is the zone of high temperature. Torrid zone, you can see here it is this part of area is called as the torrid zone. This region lies between Tropic of Cancer, 23.5 degree north latitude in the north. This is 23.5 degree north latitude, and Tropic of Capricorn, 23.5 degree south latitude. This zone receives direct rays of the sun. That is the reason it is called as the torrid zone. And the temperate zone. The temperature is neither very hot nor cold in this region. Temperate zone. This part of area is called as temperate zone. This region lies between 23.5 degree north to 66.5 degree north. Tropic of Cancer to Arctic Circle. So this part of area, this part of duration, it is north latitude, whereas south, that is 23.5 degree south to 66.5 degree south, that is Tropic of Capricorn to Antarctic Circle. That reason it is called as the temperate zone. And the frigid zone, the poles, polar regions. These are the coldest regions. These are found between 66.5 degree north, that is Arctic Circle, to 90 degree North Pole. 66.5 degree Arctic Circle to North Pole 90 degree, and 66.5 degree South Antarctic Circle. From here to 90 degree South Pole, that reason it is called as the frigid zone. Due to the slanting rays of the sun, the temperature is very low here. In summer, temperature is slightly high, and the winter is the temperature is very low in the frigid zone. Here the concept of isotherms, the imaginary lines connecting places having the same temperature are called as isotherms. These are drawn on globe or map to show the distribution of temperature of a region. So the isotherms are imaginary lines showing the temperature drawn on the globe and map. Here are some of the facts we are going to be get the information. The places of highest and lowest temperature. Al Azizia of Libya in South Africa has recorded the highest temperature with average plus 58 degree Celsius, whereas Verkhoyansk of Siberia inhabited has recorded the lowest temperature with minus 28 degree Celsius. When it comes to India, in Ganganagar of Rajasthan records the highest temperature with 54 degree Celsius in summer, and Leh of Jammu Kashmir records the lowest temperature with average minus 10 degree Celsius in winter. And the Vostok of Antarctica is considered as the coldest place, average temperature with minus 89 degree Celsius on the earth. That is the Vostok of Antarctica. So these are some of the highest and lowest temperature facts. That's it about today's session. In this session we get the information about meaning and importance of atmosphere, composition of atmosphere, layers of atmosphere, the concept of temperature and temperature zones. I think you have understood till now what we are discussed. In case if you are having any doubts till now what we are discussed, you can comment in the comment box. I will solve your doubts and I will come back with the next video. Until, keep watching my channel. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you in the next session. Bye bye. Take care.